Hello and welcome back to another Shadowlands gold making video. Today I wanted to do a transmog guide or an introduction to transmog farming, as I have been focusing a lot on Shadowlands content recently, and as I tested out some transmog farming very recently on my stream, I had a lot of fun with it, and I also realized that actually farming transmog can be very valuable. It gives you a lot of value, and it's not something you have to farm all the time. But the more you farm and the more different transmog farms you do, the better off you are, and you will get tons of value for your time. Now, while farming Shadowlands, you can do like 30k per hour and get like steady gold and very fast sales. But by doing something like transmog farming, you can get upwards of 200, 300, and even 400,000 gold per hour in transmog farming and transmog values that will sell steadily over time. Now, in this guide we are going to cover several things like where to farm, where to start out, what dungeons to do, solo farms, group farms, which realms to do, and some TSM operations as well. So stay tuned for that and enjoy the show. Now, I'm not a transmog farming expert, I recently got into it myself. I did farm some transmog back in the day on a very bad realm. So what I've done now is to pick a very different realm, basically a role-playing realm, that is a high population realm as well, and I'm farming transmog here. Now, the good thing about farming on a role-playing realm and a high pop realm in general is that the supply will be, well, the demand will be high, the supply might be somewhat high as well, but right now in Shadowlands not too many people are farming transmog, so the competition is fairly limited, and the demand will be very high if you play on a high server. So choose a server where you think the demand will be high, and where you think the supply might be somewhat limited. So basically, don't go to a server where you know people are farming, choose your own server and just be smart about it. So for the farm you're showing in right now on screen, I would say this is one of the easiest ones to do, and I would really recommend you start out with this one. It is a group farm, you want to have 5 people, either be 5 druids running around and just killing stuff, or be 4 druids and 1 monk, pulling everything to the monk. This depends on how you set up the group, and I pretty much covered this in my video yesterday about this farm in general, but let's just do a quick recap. So you can be 4 druids if you're under level 60, and then you won't one-shot the mobs, so you pull them to the monk has to be level 60, and he will then one-shot them. If you are 5 druids, you want to be 5 level 60 druids, so you can one-shot the mobs, and then you can stand at 5 different locations and just spam kill. Or you can just run around, kill stuff, and loot stuff as well. So basically, be 5 people, it's a very good group farm, you can get glorious leg plates, Vanguard, Bloodlust, a lot of good items selling for anywhere from 20k to 100k plus. The farm itself is located right here as well in Silithus. So there you go, that's farm number 1, that is one of the farms you can do to start out. And before we talk about any more farms for transmog, I want to mention students from 0 to gold cap guide, and most of my information about transmog farming comes from this guide itself. So if you want more information on transmog farming, which dungeons to do, what to stock up on, and so on, check out this guide. It's an amazing guide for old content farming, for transmog, for old content materials, what they're used for, crafting and stuff like that. So check it out, he has a lot of knowledge about farming gold in World of Warcraft. And if you're looking for some help or some ideas of what to farm, then this guide can definitely help you out. The link will be down below. And by clicking the link and by using my code, you save yourself 50%. It's a great deal as well. Now let's talk about a couple different gold farms you can do for transmog farming. So let's say you are farming solo and you want to do some dungeons to actually stock up on some items to do. Well, there's a couple different ones you can do. I would really recommend Sulfurak just to get like a broad aspect of items. Basically, Sulfurak will give you tons of different unique items for transmog farming that you can sell for a lot of gold. And by doing the thing you want to do is, like, when you're in Sulfurak, click on these things to spawn all of the zombies. If you've been playing Classic WoW, then this is nothing new. Basically, you do this to farm in Classic WoW as well, so just do the same thing. And you're basically farming these and killing them from transmog. You are basically doing the entire dungeon though, so on your way here, make sure you pull everything as well. And basically just clear out the entire dungeon, loot everything, and hope for something of value. I'm actually just going to put up the loot appraiser as well while I loot stuff while I'm doing this, so you can see what I'm looting while I'm just showing you this on the screen. And this is just one of many dungeons that you can actually do. And you can actually loot something cool just by clicking the graves as well. So click on the graves while you loot them, and just open every single grave, and once you've done that, you just kill all the zombies super fast like this. And then they're gonna die, you loot them, and sometimes you might loot something good like the lofty breastplate. That is 13,000 gold, actually on my server it's 15,000 gold, but the region market value average is 13,000 gold for one quick pull. So doing dungeons like this will definitely get you a ton of gold as well, and it's a really easy way of making some gold solo. Now you can also kinda only do this part of the dungeon, but you can only do 10 per hour per account. So I would recommend you do the entire dungeon, it goes super fast, so just pull everything you see, and do like 6-minute laps, and then go out, reset, and do the entire thing over again. And that is just one of many dungeons you can do for this type of farm. Now, instead of me showing you all the dungeons you can do, I'm just going to mention a couple so you can decide for yourself. So basically, you can do Sulfuric for a ton of different items. You can do Wailing Caverns for also a ton of different items. Black Fathom Deeps has a lot of different items. You also have stuff like Blackrock Foundry, not needed, but you can do it if you want. You also have Nobragon, LBRS, as in Lower Blackrock Spire. Lots of items and some high value ones as well. You also have Resorphan Downs, Resorphan Crown, Shadowfang Keep as well for the Shadowfang Dagger, but also some green items. You have Scarlet Halls and Scarlet Monastery, but those are mostly just if you feel lucky for some Scarlet items. Basically, it's a gamble, but you can get tons of gold if you get the right items. You have Maraudon for lots of different transmog items, and you have the most farmed one, or the most knowledgeable one, which is Uldaman for super items worth over 1 million gold. But they have a very low drop chance, but it's very fun to do, and like Scarlet Monastery, it's a gamble. You also have some TBC or the Burning Crusade dungeons like Mana Tombs. This one is super worth it, and you can get the keys, or get to a quest to get the keys. That's worth around 20k gold per hour, and you can do mining, and you get transmog while farming as well. You can also do Hellfire Ramparts, you can do the Blood Furnace, the Mechanar, and Underbog as well. For Wrath of the Lich King, you can do Pit of Saren for Mogs and the Battered Hilt, and you can do Gundrak as well for Mogs and Skinning. There's tons of more dungeons you can do, but those are just a couple ones just to give you an idea of where to start. So basically what I would do is do, let's say you're solo, just to tell you what to do solo. So do Sulfuric first for lots of items, then do Black Fathom Deeps for more items, Resorphan Downs and then Crawl for even more items, then LBRS and Uldaman for less items but higher value, and super items as well, and if you feel lucky, do some Scarlet Monastery as well. Basically do a bit of everything, try to get as many different transmog items as possible to increase the chance of something selling. Transmog farming in general can give you anywhere from, let's say, 30,000 gold to 400,000 gold, even more as well in hourly averages or hourly values. And as you can see on the screen right now, we've been farming for 35 minutes, and I've made 288,000 gold in transmog values from this group farm right here in Silithus. So transmog farming is definitely worth it, but you have to farm so many different things and keep tons of them on the auction house at the same time. So with that being said, let's talk about some TSM groups and how to speed up the selling process, so you spend as little time as possible doing that process. And that is the most important thing, as you need to post several thousand auctions to actually sell a lot of transmog. So you want to make that process as fast as possible. Alright, so when it comes to TSM, first of all, you want to go to groups, you want to add new groups, and you can actually import groups from the TSM group page, where you can find transmog groups and old material groups. I will leave a link to the 2 groups that I use in the description down below. That way you can click on the link to get yourself to the TSM group, import the string right here by importing group, then linking, or like shift Ctrl V, basically pasting the string right here will import the entire group for you. Then you go to operations, you make a new auctioning operation, just click on this plus button to create a new one, and I have old materials and transmog. Now what you do here is go down to group management and then add operations to group. And for transmog, connect it to the transmog group right there, and just select the group, and there you have it. Now from there you want to go to posting, so we have different types of settings for what you want to post. So for Transmog I have 24 hours. I only post maximum 2 of each items. I'm trying to post only 1, but I can also post 2. And then you have different settings for different prices, but these are the ones that I use. If you want to use the same ones that I'm using, feel free to take a screenshot of this screen right now, or also just watch the video and copy everything that I have. So basically for the minimum price, this is what I'm using. It might be a bit much to copy, but there you have it. I can't really leave all this in the description because it will take up way too much space. But there we have it, guys. So this is what it looks like for the min price and the maximum price right there. And we also have the normal price right there as well. The most important thing here is that when it posts below minimum is don't post them, and then post at maximum price, and just have these be something along the same lines that I have them at. And then also, another thing, don't undercut. So have the undercut amount set to nothing, aka 1 copper, or never mind, 0 copper. Just like I have, nothing to undercut. This way we keep the price the way it is, so you don't drive the price down. That is very important. Now that you've done this, you want to go to settings, you want to click on macros, right there, and you want to click on these things right here. Basically using a macro right now. So instead of posting every single item manually, you can do so by scrolling your wheel up and down. So having my auctions cancel button, shopping buyout button, post/cancel button, craft and vendoring stuff, then you will post, cancel, craft, sell whenever you do shift wheel up or down. So go to the auction house and to post things, just shift and press up and down, or like wheel up and down on your mouse wheel, and you will post things super fast. One thing to note is that when you actually post 300 to 400 auctions, they will start posting a lot slower, as the auction house just kind of acts that way. So if you are posting something like 2,500 auctions, that will take you between 2 and 3 hours, so just keep that in mind, even with using that macro. But 2.5 hours, so 2 to 3 hours to post 2,500 items will get you tons of gold in return, so keep that in mind as well. Now that that's been covered, let's also talk about the realm super quick. So when choosing a realm, there's 2 things you want to look at. You want to look for an RP mark on the type, basically a role-playing realm, and you also want the realm to be at least medium. You can go to a low realm, but in that case, the transmog will sell even faster, and that might demoralize a lot of people, so go to a medium or a high pop realm with RP marks. Argent Dawn is really popular, Defies Brotherhood is somewhat popular, and just look for an RP realm. You can go to a normal realm as well. I know that on both Sylvanas, Stormscale, Draenor and Ravencrest, and yeah, Draenor and Cassock as well, Transmog sells super fast. So it doesn't have to be an RP realm, but in my experience, RP realms are better. But if you can go to a full realm, then they will sell super fast over there as well. One more thing to consider when you're farming Transmog is that you will fill up your bags super fast, so you want a way to transfer your items super fast. Now the way you can do this is by having 1 bank character and 1 farming character on the same account if you're using 1 account, or on 2 accounts if you're using 2 accounts, but let's just say you're using 1 account, because I think most people actually are using 1 account. So what I do is I go to my guild, and then you can go to recruitment right here, put your guild up for recruitment in the guild finder. That way you can log off on your guild master, you can invite yourself to your guild without inviting any other player, and then you can just list your guild up here and just accept, and then it will be listed in here for 29 days. You can log on over to your farming character, list for your own guild, invite yourself to your guild, and then you're both in the same guild. So you don't have to have another person to invite yourself to a guild, you can invite yourself this way, and then you can use the guild bank tab to put stuff in whenever you're farming. So let's say I'm farming right now, my bag is full, I can just throw the items into the guild bank while farming, then I can log out and go to my bank character and take them out. If you don't want to use a guild bank, or you're in a guild currently, you can also use a toy pet, toy mail, there we go. So Katie's Stamp Whistle, you can use this one. It does have a 3-hour cooldown though, so this one is a bit less reliable than the Guild Bank, as that one has a 2-hour cooldown, or a 1-hour cooldown, and you can use it yourself all the time. It has a 1-hour cooldown, yeah, so you can use this one quite often, while this one has a 3-hour cooldown. And when you use it, you can send yourself a mail, so send yourself the auctions, or the actual transmog items, in the mail while farming, so you don't have to go back to the auction house or to Stormwind whenever your bag is full. This way you can keep on farming transmog for 10 hours, 20 hours, or as long as you want basically, while sending stuff while you're farming. So have either the mailbox toy, or be in the same guild as your own bank character, and just utilize the guild bank to your advantage. One thing I will say is that when you're farming transmog, like right now my bags are already full, and this is only about 150 items, so you want to have at least 1000, maybe 2000 items, meaning that to actually have that many items you need to have a guild bank to yourself anyway, so you might have to actually have a farming character and a banking character in the same guild, so using the guild bank to transfer items might be the best way to do things. So you want to have the guild bank either way, so that's how I do things. I will have both my characters in the same guild, and use mobile banking to just put the items in the guild bank while I'm farming, and then just take them out on my bank character when I want to post them. I have both my banking character and my farming character on the same account though, so I can't really farm and post at the same time. But if I wanted to, I could, but I just want to do this organically, and I'm basically challenging myself to start on a brand new realm and try to make gold by doing old content stuff. So I really hope you guys appreciate this guide. It's kind of my take on transmog farming to help you guys get into it as well. Transmog farming is a lot of fun, you can make a lot of value, and you can basically make a lot of value for your time. Instead of getting that steady 30,000 gold per hour from doing like Shadowlands content, you can make a lot more gold per hour by doing transmog farming, but it will take time to sell, so as long as you're not in a rush to make gold, then this can definitely be a way to utilize your time and make more gold by doing it. So I really hope you guys liked the guide. Let me know if there's anything I missed. I'm fairly new to transmog farming, so this is kind of a beginner's guide to transmog farming, and once again, if you want to know more about transmog farming in general, check out Student's Guide. This guide is fantastic for everything about gold making. It covers a lot about transmog and old content farming as well, so check it out. The link will be down below, and by using my code you save 50%. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the video, guys. I really hope you liked it. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in the next video.